Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Rona. I also go by Ro. I am a writer, a graphic designer, general creative type. I had a bookstagram back in 2020 called Bookswatch, so if you're coming from over there, welcome. This channel will be kind of your average booktube stuff. I'm planning on mainly doing reading wrap-ups to start out, with probably some longer form media critique and video essays as well. I might do some like limited series creative projects, TBA on that. Anyways, since ratings are king here over on Booktube, here is a little bit about how I rate books. In general, I try and meet a book where it's at. Like, I'm not gonna necessarily rate a science fiction book from the 70s and a queer YA book from the 2010s the same way. But yeah, I really like this chart from A Romantic Duck over on Tumblr, which I'll link below. It essentially breaks down star ratings into a matrix. The TLDR is that if I feel a book is above average, I'll give it somewhere in the range of 4 stars, depending. A book really has to be extra special to earn 5 stars from me, and I DNF books that I'm not enjoying, so I don't tend to have a whole ton of 2 and 1 stars. For manga and graphic novels, I usually don't do half stars. Other books, though, I will do half stars, and sometimes if I'm feeling real weird, I'll give a book a 1/4 star. And this probably won't help me in the YouTube algorithm, but I don't hate read. I just have very little personal interest in the, like, so bad it's good type books. So if I do end up with a 1-star book, I probably should have DNF'd it, and I probably will have a lot to say about how it strung me along for long enough, despite being so awful, to make me finish it. I do want to do the Booktube Newbie Tag, because that is just a nice, concise way for y'all to get to know me, so let's jump into that. The first question is, why did you start this channel? And honestly, I've wanted to start a YouTube channel since I was like a child, in middle school maybe, and just never really had the time or energy. I kind of figured that if I were to make one, it would probably be some sort of Bookstagram adjacent account, and here we are, so that's fun. Question 2 is, what are some fun and unique things that you bring to Booktube? So I am a graphic designer, so I thought it would be fun to do like some book design critiques at some point. Question number 3 is, what are you most excited for about this new channel? And honestly, I'm just kind of excited to share my opinions about what I'm reading, whether I be happy or annoyed about what I'm reading, because it really helps me crystallize my own personal opinions about books. Question 4, why do you love reading? Yeah, my 2 favorite forms of media are books and single-player video games, and I think that's because they're self-paced. I just like being able to, like, really sink into media and read really slowly if I want, or read really quickly if I want, not really be, like, tied down to video length or anything like that. Also, I don't know, I like words. I like words a lot. I'm a huge nerd, so probably that too. Question 5, what book or series got you into reading? Honestly, the main thing that got me into reading was my mom and my sisters being avid readers. But, like, as a kid, Magic Treehouse, Warrior Cats, Charlie Bones, Song of the Lioness were all books I really liked. I remember, like, bothering my elementary school librarian until she ordered a Warrior Cats book, like a specific Warrior Cats book, which was the next in the series that I was reading, so that was fun. But then in adulthood, I would definitely say Realm of the Elderlings, especially the Live Ship Traders, got me back into reading, listening to those audiobooks. Okay, question 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Well, I'm kind of interested in the way that everyone approaches reading differently. So I would probably ask them about, like, how they imagine while they're reading. Like, if they focus on visualizing settings or characters, etc. Or, like, if they're really focused in on the prose, or if there's something else entirely that I don't even pay attention to while I'm reading. I find that stuff really interesting, so it'd be cool to know, like, what the creators I follow, what their opinion is on that, or what works for them. Alright, question 7. What challenges do I think I'll have starting a booktube channel? Probably just consistency, if I'm being super honest. Okay, question 8. When did you start reading? Well, I always read as a kid, but I think I began actively reading, like, adult fiction as an adult in about 2018, and kind of haven't looked back since then. Question 9, where do you read? Mostly, I just love a cup of coffee in the morning and reading my book. It's pretty consistent, like, keeps me going through a book. I will listen to audiobooks while I'm working sometimes, and then sometimes, you know, I'll go to the library or a cafe and read, but I do kind of treasure that, like, 20 or 30 minutes in the morning reading a book. I feel very fortunate to have that currently. And last question, question 10, what kind of books do you like to read? Yeah, I read a bit of everything, to be perfectly honest, but primarily adult fantasy, sci-fi, and horror. I really like books with complex, well-realized characters, so I try and seek those books out regardless of genre. But yeah, a fantasy book with super complex characters is pretty much my favorite thing. I also read a lot of graphic novels since my local library has a really good selection, and I choose those by art style, so they can be a little hit or miss. Alright, but that's me. That's a little bit about my channel. Stick with me here. I'm definitely still learning what to do. Definitely drop a like and subscribe if you want. Alrighty. Bye.